Listen, let's get down to business. You've both been chipped. Can you show us these chips working? Can you get something from the vending machine?
Yeah, not a problem. We'll, so this is our break room market here. Able to grab any product, scan it right at the kiosk, and then what I'll do is I grab my chip, put it up to the reader, and now it's going to ask me, would you like to pay with your chip? Yes, it'll take some time to process it, make sure my credit card is good. That's in my chip, and now I've got a success, and I can walk out of my break room market with my Kit Kat.
Very good. We can see uses for this. I mean, obviously, Todd, we could see that if you went to the supermarket or whatever, that would be a tremendous thing because you don't have to worry about a credit or debit card. I can see when you log on to a computer, you don't have to worry about passwords and whatever. So in everyday life, yes, but your workers, what advantage does it give you as an employer?
Well, we don't look at it as an advantage for our employer. We look at it as basically developing the future here as an employer with our employees, and so far our employees have been really engaged in wanting to be a part of this.
But Todd, what kind of information can you see when someone is chipped? Because obviously, you know, it's great. We just saw Tony then using the vending machine. What about things like, you know, if he went off for a long lunch break or if he was late in one day? How much can you monitor what people are doing and track their movements?
That more or less is a myth. We really can't see any more information just because they're chipped. If you have a proximity card and log in a door, or if you have a credit card, we see no more information than either of those being used and don't really look in detail at that.
But you could, for instance, sit down beside a work colleague's computer and, you know, put your hand on the keyboard and maybe be accused of hacking their computer. Or say you walk past that vending machine and you got too close to it and Kit Kats start flying out of it or whatever, all on your account. Can it go wrong?
Well, the great thing with the keyboard that you mentioned there is if I knew their password, I could log into it, but with the chip in my hand, yeah, I would not be able to log in their computer because my password's stored on the chip.
Okay, I understand that. Tony, did it hurt?
No, it really didn't. Mostly it was the pinching, all the pre-stuff leading up to it. The pinching hurt worse than the actual piercing.
Yeah, and how are you finding it so far? I mean, did you find it useful?
Yeah, I mean, once you start getting it working and you see it working with the doors, and then I'm accessing my computers with it, and then just to top it off, being able to use the break room market and everything. So it's already proven to be useful, and we're already seeing different visions for different ways we can take it, which is fun.
And listen, Tony, we know that you were happy to have it done. There was a chip party there for employees that did. But did you have concerns about, you know, what kind of ways it could be used, what sort of information people would be able to see when you had this chip?
No, I think we've been pretty transparent with everything about it, and we did good research, and we understand the technology, and I think that's the most important thing. And that's the biggest misconception out there. It's just getting the education of the product and what the RFID chip is, and that's what we're trying to do here.
But Todd, what happens when Tony decides, you know, he may want to leave? You may decide you may want to sack him. Who knows? When you part company, is the chip extracted then, or can you just neuter it? What happens?
You are able to remove the chip. However, we look at this right now, as a lot of other companies have been in contact with us, as sort of a recruiting tool having this, because you can use it in convenience stores to pay for your gasoline purchases.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, very interesting. As you said, Todd, it's a vision of the future as to the way it's all
Todd,
going.
Can I just check, do you think then we're all going to end up with chips, and we'll all be doing everything with our chips in the future?
I would say it's probably going to be the young infants being implanted a lot faster than the adults, just because of what parents are wanting to find out and make sure. But the teenagers and middle-aged people, I think everybody's going to have this. Well, not everybody, but a good majority of people will find it's convenient to have in the near future.
Okay, Todd, Tony, appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed. We'll log out there. We'll say goodbye to you, and thanks very much indeed.